This chart shows the decline of the American dollar over the last 50 years. A dollar saved in 1971 has withered to a mere fraction of its former value, dropping from a full 100 cents down to just 7 cents today. To understand why this slow-motion crash happened, we have to look backward. We need to define how money functioned for 5,000 years, leading up to that exact turning point. 2 millennia ago, a Roman centurion earned a monthly wage of about 1 ounce of gold. That single coin bought a high-quality toga, a leather belt, and professional sandals, top-tier gear for a middle-class professional soldier. Fast forward to today. That same single ounce of gold is worth over $4,000. That exact amount covers the cost of a high-quality modern tailored suit, matching belt, and shoes. Gold acts as a static measuring stick. It remains constant across centuries. The paper currency we use to measure it is the variable that collapsed. Historically, paper dollars functioned as literal claim checks. You could present one at a teller window and walk out with physical, weight-bearing gold. Because those paper receipts were chained to a scarce physical element, governments faced a hard limit. This physical barrier prevented the infinite printing that quietly dilutes a citizen's wealth. Following World War II, 44 nations gathered in New Hampshire for the Bretton Woods Agreement, locking in the foundation of the modern global economy. Here is how the new system worked. Every major global currency was pegged to the US dollar. In turn, the dollar was rigidly backed by physical gold, locked away in American vaults at a strict exchange rate of $35 an ounce. That structure held until the 1960s. The U.S. government began deploying massive amounts of capital to fund an expensive war in Vietnam, along with ambitious domestic programs back home. They hit a mathematical wall. All the gold ever mined in human history fits into just 3.5 Olympic swimming pools. The government could not simply create more gold to pay for their mounting debts. Faced with a hard physical limit and soaring bills, the government quietly cheated the math. They began printing far more paper dollar receipts than they actually held physical gold in the vault to support. Global allies eventually ran the numbers. They realized the U.S. was printing unbacked currency and began demanding their physical gold back instead of holding paper. France escalated the issue directly. The French president sent a literal naval warship to New York Harbor to collect their physical gold bars from the Federal Reserve. That move triggered a global run on the bank. Only this time, the bank was the United States of America, and nations were lining up to drain its reserves. On August 15, 1971, President Richard Nixon interrupted Sunday night television. He announced what he called a temporary suspension of the dollar's convertibility into gold. That temporary speech severed the anchor to physical reality forever. The dollar was transformed into fiat currency, a piece of paper backed by absolutely nothing but a government promise. Without that gold anchor, the government gained a dangerous new power. They could now print an unlimited supply of dollars whenever they needed to fix a problem or cover a deficit. Look at this graph of the historical money supply. It stays mostly flat for decades, then violently spikes. 40% of all dollars in existence were printed in just one recent 18-month window. As the total supply of dollars floods the market, each existing dollar represents a smaller slice of the economic pie. This mathematical dilution forces every dollar to be worth less than it was the day before. This dynamic creates an invisible wealth transfer. It punishes the working class who diligently save cash, while rewarding the class of people who hold debt and physical assets. For decades, central bankers publicly dismissed gold as a barbarous relic, an outdated pet rock. Yet today, those same institutions are quietly buying thousands of tons of it. They are stockpiling physical metal to hedge against a $40 trillion U.S. national debt, protecting themselves against the extreme vulnerability of the very fiat system they created. The decline is rarely a sudden, dramatic collapse. It is a quiet 50-year decay, a continuous hidden tax bleeding the value out of a lifetime of work. Saving unanchored cash in a modern account ensures a slow, terminal decline in purchasing power. In a post-1971 world, the act of saving paper results in a mathematically certain loss of everything you've earned.